there's some shifters on here. This is copper. But this is soldered in. Soldered, if you want to be particular. Soldered in. It's just two pieces of steel pipe that have had a rotary pipe cutter run around them, and a piece of tight-fitting copper pipe has been jammed inside of them with a little bit of solder on it, melted, and they go, and when it dries, it's real sticky, and it holds it. But it ain't supposed to hold it that long. It's certainly under the forces that it's under, it's not supposed to hold that long at all. Well, I'm going to add this little bit of freakazoid in here because I looked at it and I was like, you know what, this can't be right, but I'm going to put it in here anyway because this is so weird. Let's just get weirder, okay? There's a wire running down in this thing. Now, I thought this wire for so long, I said, you know what, that belongs to the shifters because when this accident happens, the shifters, in fact, do not work. But I'm wondering if the thing that grounds these shifters is actually just the steering column itself. You just plug this thing in. So, and that there's no reason for this wire to be coming down here. And in fact, in the pictures, it looks to me like there's a wire exiting out the side of the column down here. Well, let me just freak you out and let me freak myself out too, because in the pictures of this column after the accident, you got this thing that looks like something. It actually looks like a little firecracker like this. Now, that's very odd. Why would there be a little firecracker inside of a steering column? You know, unless maybe you put like a radio-controlled box here and you were waiting for somebody to go around a corner and right at the exact time you want it to fail, you just press a button and boop, poof. And what happens is, it's not supposed to break the copper. It's just supposed to heat the column up and make the solder liquid. So when the guy is sitting there, he's trying to steer the column, the damn thing's liquid. Guess what? It don't matter what he does. He's never going to be, he's only going to get 2 seconds anyway. He's never going to be able to save that car. Well, turns out they didn't need this because this copper pipe failed on its own. But it failed in a lot of ways. So anyway, we're going to get to that. That's interesting. Now, I'm going to tell you that the other side of the column looks like this, and it has a wire here that looks like it's been cut flat, okay? And you know, this here, you know, this might not be no firecracker. But, you know, in our fiction story, we're going to call it a firecracker. This right here, this edge right here, when Ayrton is going around a corner, he's trying to get this thing to turn, it could have been, you know, moving across this and shorting this out and making this look like this. You know, it's possible. Could happen. And then this, you know, just cut nice and smooth, you know. This side of it isn't exploded at all. It almost looks like somebody took the wire and just, because, you know, maybe the other side of the wire didn't look like it was supposed to, and they just rubbed it against the column and cut it, you know, real quickly, like, you know. So, in any case, here we go with this. And like I said, this is all fiction. This is just a nice little fiction story to think about over our off-season break. So, Ayrton comes to the race, and it's imperative to understand that these guys get together and they don't want just they can't just have Ayrton go crashing and burning. They've got to have people, they've got to make it look like that was just a terrible weekend. And like I said, they've been listening all along to his conversations, and he's been talking to somebody. He's been talking to two people, actually. And one of them is a new guy in the series, and the other one is a guy that he brought from his own country. And he's been talking to these two guys, and God knows who else he's been talking to that they've been listening to. In any case, they decide that, you know what, we're going to put a kibosh on all three of these guys. Now, on Friday, we're going to have this one guy what we're going to do with him, these two other guys, they're not near the caliber of driver as this other guy. They're not as lucky as he is. So all we got to do is we'll fix that throttle. Fix the throttle to brake to full on. And you want it to do this when the car is shifted into high gear. On Friday it works like a charm. And the guy that works on goes off the track so damn fast that Ayrton looks in the monitors and goes, why in the hell is he going that fast? Why in the hell is he going that fast? He should have never been going that fast. I drove that track, and I've driven that track, and he's going through the runoff at full speed. It makes no sense at all. He smacks the wall. He comes all the way down the track because the car was at full throttle. You know, and it's terrible. And they should have stopped the race, but they didn't. On Saturday, this other guy, who I will call the luckiest racer in the history of the world because they've tried to kill this guy 2 other times. He comes down to this S-turn like this. And if you watch, he comes down to the S-turn, and I don't know what the mechanism was that caused this breakage to not happen when they wanted it to, but he comes down, and when that throttle goes full on, you can see that damn motor burns a tire mark all the way around to here. And this is where this guy who, you got to see it to believe it, that he would actually be able to save this car, because what he does is he saves his life. He saves his own life because that thing is burning the tire all the way around here, and he pushes in the clutch just in time for the car to shoot off the road, and it runs parallel with the fence and falls over, and it's a vicious, brutal impact, but he survives. And you, buddy, deserve your own congratulations, because there ain't many people that could save a car as fast as you saved it that day. Okay? So, now we come to the day of the race, and guess who doesn't want to race? He does not want to race. He does not want to race. He does not want to race because he's thinking the only common thread in these two guys wrecking is me. So Mr. Bills goes over and talks to him, and I have to believe it came from on high, the man on high, that they would find a flag, and Ayrton would use the flag and donate the race, dedicate the race to this guy. It's a beautiful misdirection. It gave Ayrton the only reason he could possibly get back in that car and race. And as a matter of fact, if you look in the pictures before the race and he looks around and all these team members are standing around him like, don't get out the damn car. I mean, it really looks like, I don't know if they're protecting him or what the order was. Now, everybody on the team doesn't know about what's going on. Only these guys. You know, it's not an everybody thing. So don't think everybody on the team knew about this. They didn't. In any case, the race goes on. It's terrible. There's an accident. Ayrton comes down to the turn, and things happen just pretty much like they wanted them to happen. I mean, he comes down.